Hey doc, in your niche practice, do you ever get the question when a patient calls over the phone or comes into the office, do you take my insurance? And have you ever thought about a really good way to answer that question? In our offices, we teach the doctors that, hey, we don't know if we'll take their insurance or not. We don't even know if we'll take them as a patient or not. And in fact, if you're going to say that, you should have patients somewhat regularly that you actually turn away so that your patients know that that's real, that you don't accept everybody, and your staff know that that's real, that you don't accept everybody if you actually don't accept everybody. If you do accept everybody and put everybody that walks in and fogs a mirror and has a credit card on a care plan, then it's going to be awful tough for your staff to say with any kind of certainty or credibility or conviction what we're going to teach you, to say next. So what we really don't know whether we're going to be able to take that patient's insurance. I mean, we don't know if they have Medicare or what kind of insurance they have, to begin with. So we really can't answer that question until they come into the office and until they've seen the doctor. And so the CA should know that their real job is to book that appointment and get the patient in front of the doctor so he can make all those decisions, because they might have peripheral neuropathy. They might not have peripheral neuropathy at all. They might have a disc problem and not even have peripheral neuropathy. If they're a Medicare patient, then yes, we might be taking their insurance. But if it's not and they're a knee pain patient and they're on Medicare, then Medicare doesn't pay for knee pain treatment in a chiropractor's office. They limit us between the occiput and the sacrum, essentially. And so you don't know any of those things. So you have to find out a way to get the patient in the office so you can determine all those things, get those questions answered for them. But the time to do it is not over the phone or when they first walk into the office. So whenever a patient asks that over the phone, do you take my insurance? We found the best way to handle that and answer it is just to tell the patient, well, why don't you go ahead and bring your information in with you when you come into the office, and we'd be happy to do a complementary benefits check for you when you come into the office. And so we never say the word insurance. We tell them to bring their information in, because we found that the more we say the word insurance, the more the patient's going to say the word insurance, the more they're going to think about it, focus on it, and talk about it. And we want to talk about it as little as possible, because most of the cases, their insurance is not going to cover it. But they're not going to get treatment for something that insurance covers that's actually going to help them anywhere else. So they really need to be in your office anyway. So it depends on how you look at this. If you look at it as what is in the patient's best interest, and their best interest is getting to your office, getting examined by the doctor, and so that they can get the treatment they need to get help and get better. That only happens if they make it into the office. So if you turn the patient away by, boldly declaring or, sort of arrogantly or egotistically declaring like, no, we don't file insurance. We don't take insurance. We're a cash practice. You're going to turn that person away. They may never get help. They may never get better. So think about this from the standpoint of, being a servant and serving in your community and helping as many people as you can in how you answer that question. The way we teach our staff too, like we said, I'll repeat this, is, well, why don't you go ahead and bring your information in with you when you come into the office, and we'll be happy to do a complimentary benefits check for you when you come into the office. Notice what I repeated, when you come into the office. So we're not doing checks over the phone for them and then they're going to call back and check on us, only if they're committed enough to actually come into the office. The thing that's magical about that is once they actually come into your office, and if you put your office together the way we teach you at our Clinic Masters Bootcamps, and they see how nice it is and how beautiful it is and how attentive and well-trained your staff is, and they start to get a sense of comfort, like, wow, this is a place I enjoy being at, and I could see myself coming here multiple times. I feel really comfortable here. And then all of that even before they meet the doctor, and then they really like the doctor and feel like, boy, this is an expert. And we can teach you how to tell the patient you're an expert without telling the patient you're an expert, and we'll teach you how to do that as well to create authority and the patients understand that you have a lot of knowledge around this area without you ever even having to say it or speak it or tell them that yourself. And so when the patient does come into the office, you're not going to bring it up. You're going to have them fill out their paperwork and go through your process, your consult, your exam, and it only comes up again if they bring it up. And most of the time, it will never come up again because their real concern was That's just a buying question that patients ask. They don't know what to ask or what to say over the phone. So that's just one of the questions that they vomit on your staff. And if we can learn to delicately dance around it, a lot of times we'll never have to end up answering it at all because they really want their problem fixed. They don't really care whether their insurance is going to pay for it or not. And if they're that hell bent on that, you can point out to them like, hey, has insurance fixed your problems yet? All the other things that you've done that haven't helped, if I'm understanding correctly, were paid for by insurance. Is that right? Well, yeah, I guess so. And none of that stuff's helped, right? Why is that? Well, I don't know. Well, we do things that is not covered by insurance because we do the things that are actually effective and actually help you. We're here to treat you and your problem, help you get better. We're not here to treat your insurance company.